Hello class, we're going to go over the week 6 individual assignment. I would like you to open your books to page WD 54 where the assignment is, and then also make a note of the fact that on WD 53 is the chapter summary. We're going to be using that a lot. So let's look at first task on page 54. It says delete the word single. Well, I want to point out every time we are asked to do something where in the chapter summary you can find how to perform the task. So if you look through the chapter summary, I'll point out to you that item 38, which is called delete task, which is found on page WD 47, that's where you would go if you didn't have a clue or were confused about how to delete a word or words of the text. So we'll do that right now. So somewhere in here is the word single. A couple of ways to do it. The easiest is to click on the word, and as soon as it's highlighted in blue, I could just hit the delete key and then the word is gone. Step 2, insert the word creeks. Well, I don't know these are basic skills, but there is even a section, again turn to the chapter summary on page WD 53. Item 37, inserting text into an existing document. Well, you place the cursor where it is now, where you want to type the word, and actually, let's see, the word we want to put in is between the words twin and buffalo, so we click right next to the B in buffalo, and we type in the word creeks and then hit the space key, space bar, so we can get a space between the word creek and buffalo. 3, at the end of the signature line, change the period to an exclamation point. Well, they don't have, I don't believe, a specific section on how to do that, but as we know, all you have to do is put the cursor to the right of the period, hit the backspace key once, and then Shift number 1 gets you the exclamation point. Number 4, center the headline and the signature. Well, something about centering is going to be found in the chapter summary. And I'm again looking at page WD 53, and I see number 8, center of paragraph. Well, in Word, every line is considered a paragraph. So essentially they're saying you want to center the line. The headline, which is here, so I'm going to select it. Now you would see how to do this if you read the page that it tells you to read for section 8, which is center a paragraph. That was on page WD 14. We'll keep this in mind as you work through the assignments for the upcoming weeks. This is the one we want, center. Click center. Click that button, and you notice how it's highlighted. I could move it to the right, I could move it to the left, I could also center it. And they want us to do the same thing with this line, the signature line. And again, I selected, hit the center button, and I'm done. Change the theme colors to the aspect color theme. Where do they talk about themes? Well, if you're looking as I am, you'll see that section 24, and again I'm looking at the chapter summary on page WD 53, 24, change theme colors. Okay, well, of course, I don't have to look at the page, as you might imagine, so all I need to do is go to page layout. Here's themes. Click on themes. Mouse, in fact, they give us the names of the themes, so I think it was the aspect. Yes. And that's all I need to do. And then if I put my cursor here, you'll notice how it shows me what the theme is. It says current theme aspect. Okay, now that takes us down to 6. Step 6 on page WD 54. Change the font and font size of the heading to 48-point impact. Okay, again, looking back at the chapter summary, page 53, something here is going to tell me how to change the format and the font size, or the font and the font size of the words. And at this point, I think you get the idea about pretty much everything that's going to be asked of you is going to be found somewhere in the chapter summary. And this is word chapter 1, so there's nothing before here. Just for argument's sake, I'm going to read down, change the font size and change the font, so sections 10 and 11. Well, I think we know how to do this, so we want to change this to 48. Go to the Home tab, go to the font size, go down to 48. There we go. And we need to change the font type, and I think they asked us to find impact. This is an alphabetical list, so I go down to the I's. If I don't see it, then I'm just going to choose pretty much anything. There it is. Okay, done. That was half of step 6. Now we want to, oh, it says change all the letters to capitals. So good, there we go. All right, step 7. No, step 6 in the middle. Apply the text effect called gradient fill orange accent 1 outline dash white. Well, where are the text effects at all? Well, before I go to my text effects, I have to tell the computer what text I want to put this effect into. Here's the button for text effects. Okay. Now, as you remember, as I mouse over each one, it tells me the name, and it also shows me behind the scenes what it's going to look like if I were to choose it. But this is not the right one. This says fill tan. We need gradient fill orange accent 1 outline dash white. It's down here. How do I know? Because I've done this, and many of you did this right, and if you chose this one, it looks close, but it's not the same. And none of these are really the same. You have to choose that one. Click, and now it's done. That was step 6. 7. Change the font size of the body copy. Well, what's the body copy? Look, it's everything in the body of the letter, or the flyer rather. So I can just select the whole thing, all of them all at once. And the way I select, if you're not aware, is you put your cursor at the very last part that you want to highlight, hold the left mouse button down, and drag the mouse so that it goes across and up, and now you've got everything highlighted. Change it to 20, and notice how the floating menu appears. I can just go down and click 20. There you go. Okay, so it's looking better. Use the mini toolbar, and again, I call it the floating toolbar. They call it the mini toolbar. I think you know what I mean. It's the toolbar that appears when you highlight text, and then it appears right above. And the reason they call it mini is because it's really just a portion of this. In the old version of Word, you always have to move your mouse all the way up here, and somebody said, hey, why don't we just put a menu right down there where their cursor is, and then they don't have to go very far. They want us to change it to 26. Okay, there's 26. Okay, we're getting there. Select the words, and this is step 9. Select the words hundreds of buffalo and underline it. Well, I don't have to tell you that there must be somewhere on underlining in the chapter summary, and it is on section 22, underline text. You would find it on WD27. So here we go, but this is pretty easy. Click the underline button, and now it's highlighted, or underlined rather. Italicize the word every. Now here, there's actually 2 ways to do it. I could double click on the word and it highlights it, or I could do the drag method where I drag the mouse over the word. Floating toolbar, italicize. I'm done with step 10. Step 11, select the 3 lines or paragraphs. That's this one, and this one. I missed a step where it says undo this change and then redo it. So in every, if I wanted to undo the italicize, I just go back and I unclick, or I click the italicize button and it unclicks it, or it unitalicizes it. Then I can just click it again and it'll italicize it. So back to step 11. Select the 3 paragraphs of text above the signature line and add bullets. This is pretty simple, but again, if you didn't know how to do it, WD53, chapter summary, somewhere in here they talk about bullets. And that would be section 15 and 16. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Got them selected. I'm going to click the bullet button. There we go. Select the last 2 bulleted paragraphs. That is, select the questions bullet and move it so that it is the last bulleted. Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't say select the last 2 bulleted paragraphs. It says switch the last 2 bullets. That's pretty easy. All I have to do is, maybe what I'll do is I will select this and drag it up. There we go. I'm going to do that once again. I'm going to hit the undo arrow, which redoes my last move. This is the way it was. I selected the last bullet. I held my left mouse button down. I dragged the mouse up until it was next to the Q, and then they flip places. So that takes care of step 12. Step 13, bold the first word of each bulleted paragraph. Well, by this time we know how to do that. Double click, B, double click, click the B, and again here, B. Okay, but we also have to change the color of the words, and we need to select each word, then go up to the color icon, find the color that's called dark green accent 4, darker 50. That's not quite it. Darker 25. That's the one. And now I need to do the same thing here, but now by this time I sort of know where to find it. It's right down there. Okay, and then same thing for here. There we go. All right, that's step 13. 14, bold the signature, the text in the signature line. Well, that's this. I'm going to select it. By now we know to click the B. Now it's bolded. It says, shade the signature line dark green, accent 4, darker 50. And we'll talk about why this is on 2 lines now, but we'll take care of that in just a minute. Okay, so let's see how we can shade the signature line. You notice I have selected it. Now notice that there's an area, a group of buttons under the paragraph heading. Click over here, we see it says shading. Color the background behind the selected text or paragraph. That's the one I want. And now it turns out that it's the same set of colors. So this is the one we choose. It's just the same font as these first words here. And so I've taken care of step 14. Okay, and then it says on step 15, change the zoom so that the entire page is visible in the document window. The zoom is down here. Notice I can click the minus button, and now it goes down to 90%. Well, it's still not all visible, so I need to click it again. I'm going to click it again, and again, and again. So now it's all visible in one document, or the entire document is visible on the page. Now we need to insert the buffalo picture. I'm going to put the buffalo centered in the blank line. Well, again, chapter summary, page WD53. Insert a picture is section 26. So if you need to look at the book, that's where you'll find how to insert a picture. Here I'm going to go Insert, Picture. It's going to take me to my file system, and I'm going to click on the Downloads folder with Insert, and there's the picture. You notice that it's already centered, so we don't have to do much more than that. And also notice how it made the flyer go onto 2 pages. We'll take care of that later. We have to apply some special formatting to the picture. So with the picture selected, which means I have to have clicked on it. If I click somewhere else, notice how the picture is no longer selected. But I need to select it. And when I do, I see the Picture Tools menu appear. Notice if I don't have the picture selected, that thing disappears. And you might say, well, where is that toolbar that had all the buttons that would allow me to format a picture? Well, you need to select the picture, and now it appears. Well, what do we need to do? Apply the snip diagonal corner white picture style. Okay, it's a lot of words, but here's picture style. So one of these, and this one's sort of easy to tell because it has the corners sort of cut off. So I click it, and now my picture is formatted. Here we go. But I need to do more. I need to apply the glow called dark green 5-point glow accent color 4. Okay, let's just go back to the WD53 and notice that in section 30 and 31 you would find the information you need on how to apply picture styles and picture effects. You really can do this entirely from the book if you just know where to look, and that's what I'm hoping that you'll get from this presentation. So now let me find it. So I've clicked the picture, picture effects, glow. Okay, one of these is the right one, so now I got to figure it out. Got to go over each one. Dark green, well, here's the greens, right? There it is. So that helps. At least I know what row to go in, or column rather. 5-point, that's 18-point, that's not right. 11-point, 8-point, this must be it. Okay, click OK. Or just click and it sets it up for you. Okay, so now I've got step 16 done. A lot of people miss this next step. Change the spacing after the headline paragraph to 6-point. Where can you find that in the book? Section 34 on page W53 in the chapter summary, section 34, changing space before and after a paragraph. So it's too much space in between the word buffalo photo shoot and this photo. So what I do is I got to change something about this paragraph, which is the heading. I need to go up to the paragraph section, click on this arrow, it'll give you a menu, and you see what says spacing before and after. I need to decrease that till it says 6. Actually, I can just type a 6 and then, whoops, not 60, that'd be too much. 6-point and then click OK. There we go. Notice how it's scrunched up a little bit? So that helps a lot. Let's now go to 18. The entire flyer should now fit on a single page. If it flows to 2 pages, resize the picture or decrease the spacing before or after the paragraphs until the entire flyer fits on a single page. Okay, well, one thing we got to do is we have to put our cursor, we need this not to be on two lines. In some cases, you may have to actually change the font of this to be slightly smaller. I'm going to make it 24. For some of you, it fit right away. For others, you had to change the font to 24. However, we still need to get this onto the bottom of this page here. What do we need to do? Well, remember how we could change the spacing? So if we select this paragraph, and we go up here, and we say, let's make this 6 point. Scroll that down a little bit. We'll change it to 6. That saved a little bit of space. Let's change this and see if we can remove some spacing before and after this paragraph. Let's change that to 6. And now we've, you notice how we've now scrunched it up, and we've now made room for our signature line. So this is looking pretty good. Let's go on to section or step, well, actually step 19 says change the zoom to text width, then page width, then 100%, and notice the differences. So we need to learn how to change the zoom to various preset widths, one called text width, one called page width, and then one called 100% width. Let's look at page 53 rather, and we need to look at the section called zoom the document. That's section 27. We can find it on WD33. I'm going to turn to WD33, and you'll notice that there's a zoom in and an out button, and you can find out how to change the different zooms. If you look at the bottom of the page WD33, it says, are there predefined zoom options? And you can use the zoom button that's on the page layout. It's on the view tab, zoom, and then we have one page width zoom. Let's see which zooms they wanted us to use. They wanted us to use the zoom to text width, page width, and 100%. So I'll do 100%. That makes it big. I'll do one page. Gets me down to where it's all on one page. Of course, page width shows me the whole thing also. Alright, so now it's click on the file save, and we want to save this as, well, of course this part is fairly straightforward. In fact, I will save it. I'll just go through this step, and I'll just save it to my downloads, and I want to save it to, instead of saying formatted, I want to say unformatted, so I'll just backspace here and remove the words un. I'll capitalize the letter F, and I'll save it. And I think I needed to take out the W06, so of course you'll do that, I'm sure. We don't need to print it, obviously. One step I did skip is step 20. Enter the text Twin Creeks as the keywords. Let's do that. How do I find keywords? I go to File, click on Properties, Show Document, and notice that what we'll see, it's thinking, there it goes. There's a space called Keywords here. I want to type in the words Twin Creeks. There we go, Twin Creeks. And all I have to do to get rid of this is, and it says change the properties as specified by your instructor. I didn't really take off too many points here, but you would want to change the author from whoever the person was, Misty Burmack. You want to change it to your name. And that's it. Just close this, save the document once again, and now you're ready to submit. And this is exactly what you need to do to get full credit. Hope this was helpful, and please let me know if you have any questions.